Brian was talking about SEC Media Days, how people there seemed to, they wanted to talk about Alabama, LSU, and A&M may have been an afterthought. Is that actually motivation for you as an individual?
Yeah, going to the SEC Media Day, no one really thought anything of us. They thought we didn't have the athletes to compete with the speed and the talent in the SEC. And, even personally, they didn't think we had the offensive line to compete with the defensive lines in the SEC. And I think this season we definitely proved some people wrong. And I think we showed that we had the athletes to play with anyone, anywhere in the country, any conference. So, it was definitely put a chip on our shoulder going into that last week, going into 2 days.
And people do say maybe something that separates the SEC is their defensive linemen. They put a ton of them in the NFL. You saw them face to face this year. Is that statement they make about the SEC accurate? Are they a little better, a little stronger, a little faster?
We heard about it all, SEC Media Day and all that kind of stuff, and I think they lived up to those expectations. Every team in the SEC's got a stud pass rusher. They got great interior defensive linemen. Big, strong guys that stop the run. They're almost like an NFL team. But I think we proved more this year that we have a stout offensive line, a very athletic group that can compete with anyone.
And people have had the conversation on the other side, like you said, the way you guys perform. I don't know how modest you are, but is this the best offensive line that's been assembled at A&M ever?
It's too hard for me to say that, but I think we got a very talented group. We got guys that have played, 2 years together now, and we got incredible athletes. I think that's what separates us from a lot of teams is the kind of athletes we have on our offensive line. We got 2 guards that are, some of the fastest defensive linemen or offensive linemen on the team, and I've got big Jarvis Harrison. I've seen him reverse dunk, and he's about a 325-pound guy. We got athletes all 5 positions, and Jake's an incredible player, one of the best offensive linemen in the country too, and I think we definitely proved that this season going against stout defensive lines in the SEC.
How will your brother do as Patrick's replacement?
Mike
Matthews.
Yeah.
As soon as I said your brother's the quarterback,
Yes, sir.
so just slap me in the head.
Yeah. No, it's
well, okay. How will he do?
I think he'll do.
Not your brother, of course.
He's a very talented kid. He's still at freshman weight. He's got to get a little bit bigger to be a great player. But he's already a very solid center for us. I think he could definitely be a center in the SEC this year for us. And he's growing up in one of the best football families of all time, so he knows football. He's a very smart player, and being a center in our offense, you have to be smart, you have to think fast, and he definitely can do that.
And what's it like for your brother? Does he does he ever say he's frustrated, or is he just glad to be along for the ride? We've got a guy like Johnny that wins the Heisman Trophy that you're playing behind.
Yeah,
you're not going to get a lot of opportunities.
He definitely liked to play, but he's enjoying. He's getting a great education at Texas A&M. He's definitely having a lot of fun, stuff like that. Backup quarterbacks, they're usually one of the guys the rest of the team loves because they're just one of the fun guys. And, they don't have all the stress the starting quarterback has. And I think he's had a great year this year. He had a great fall camp. He's had a great season as the backup, and him and Jamil have both been great players, and they've both been they still work their tail off every single day. Good quarterback, but you got a Heisman Trophy winner ahead of you. I think he's just having fun this season. He's just enjoying being part of this team, and enjoying getting his education and stuff like that.
Have you been able to block out the questions about your decision this week? Has it been a distraction at all?
No, it really hasn't, because I've said all week, I really haven't even thought about it, because I'm definitely lucky enough to have a dad that's he went through the whole thing when he was in college at Texas Tech, and now he's doing. He's an extremely smart guy, and he's doing all the research for me, and he's talking to people, and I'm I can just focus on playing OU and Cotton Bowl. I'm so lucky to have him, and it's just I'm just focusing on the game. After the game, I got about 10 days to make my decision, and that's when I'll consult my family, talk with Coach Sumlin, Coach Anderson, and I'll make my decision then.